Hello, everyone. Welcome to class. My name is Caitlin. I am joining you from the past. So we're in a live meeting now. So if you are watching later, you're in the future. Happy day, whatever day it is. I'm happy that you joined me. And we're going to begin our 45-minute practice by coming into a meditation for several minutes. So take a comfortable seat. In fact, let's go ahead and start lying on our backs. If you want to stay seated, that's fine too, but we are going to warm up the hips in a supine position. So if you want to stay elevated and then meet us down there after our meditation, that's great. Otherwise, we will come onto our backs, knees up towards the sky. We'll heel toe, the feet as wide as the yoga mat. And actually, let's go ahead and draw the heels a little closer to the hips. So wherever you have them, walk the feet back just slightly, and then we'll let the knees rest and support against the other. I'm feeling like I'm needing some grounding qualities today. So I'm going to keep my palms face down to the earth in connection with the floor. And I would invite you to do the same if you're feeling that way. If you're feeling pretty good, pretty stable, you're more in a receptive, open mood, go ahead and flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Inviting in whatever's waiting to come to you. And we start to become aware of the breath as it comes in through the nostrils. Filling up the belly. Softening the upper body, the ribs on the exhale. Taking a moment to observe the breath. Is it moving easy and freely? Or maybe it's a bit more restrictive, more of a challenge. Maybe there's some movement or noise with your breath. We're not looking to change anything that you're observing. We're simply observing, being a witness, making note. Notice how the rest of the body may be reacting as you observe the breath. If you haven't already, let's move our observation to the rest of the body, starting at either the feet and making our way up to the head, or maybe starting at the crown, making our way down to the soles. Or maybe there's a particular part of the body that's calling out for your immediate attention, and you can start there too. Let's take the last minute in our meditation posture to bring a full awareness to the breath. Inhaling in through the nose, down into the belly, sending the breath into all the lower corners of the belly, maybe going beyond to the pelvis, the legs, and on the exhale, belly button draws back towards the spine. Everything softens as the exhale takes longer than the inhale. Big inhale, long, slow exhale. There should be a focus on the breath, a focused challenge, an awareness. We're actively playing with the breath, but it shouldn't be painful or uncomfortable or straining. So find this balance between an organic breath and a strained breath. It should be an active challenge. Let's take 2 more just like that. Big inhale. Last one, big inhale. A long exhale, belly button pulls all the way back to the spine, completely emptying the lungs. Natural inhale. So we return to a more organic breath. Let's heel toe, the feet towards each other. We'll go right through the line of the hips, bringing the soles together, arch to arch, heel to heel, toes to toes, as we let the knees splay open. If it feels natural and warranted to move the hands to a new position, maybe right on the low abdomen, maybe on the tops of the thighs. One more big inhale here. A long exhale. We bring the hands to the outsides of the thighs and press the legs together. So using the strength in our arms instead of our legs. We're going to draw the right knee towards the chest, interlacing the fingers around the shin. Send the left leg out long. Right knee squeezes towards the right shoulder. On your exhale, we're drawing the right knee towards the left shoulder. Exhale, right knee to right shoulder. So the knee comes at an angle a little wider than the hip. Exhale, right knee to left shoulder, coming across that midline. Exhale, right knee to right shoulder. Last one, right knee to left shoulder. And then we draw the right knee all the way across the midline over to the left side of the mat. Right arm comes out long at our side, half T. Right shoulder is pinned down to the mat. And in doing that, let's bring attention then to the left shoulder. It's natural for it to curl up and away from the mat. So we bring a weight, a relaxation, a heaviness back into that left shoulder. Chest stays open. Just warming up the spine, the low back, the hips. One more inhale here. Exhale, we're going to straighten that right leg. Ooh, yes. Tight hamstrings. We're going to wake them up in a few sequences throughout the rest of our practice today, but let's just take note of how we're feeling when we've got the ground and the rest of our body supporting us. Big inhale. Exhale, we go ahead and bend the knee again. Belly button to spine, drawing that right leg right through the midline, and we lower right sole down to the mat. Left leg bends, coming up towards the chest. We interlace fingers around the left shin, sending the right leg out long towards the front of the mat. Heaviness and weight comes into the left knee as we draw it towards the left shoulder. This would be a great space to add in some ankle rotations if that feels good, warming up the ankles. Exhale, left knee to right shoulder. Rolling through the front of that hip. Exhale, left knee to left shoulder. Exhale to the right shoulder. One more round, left knee to left shoulder. Exhale, left knee to right shoulder. We squeeze. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, we let that knee come all the way across the midline over to the right side of the mat. Left arm comes out long, half T at our side. Shoulder stays pinned down to the mat. And then we bring in awareness and attention to the right shoulder. Remember, everything that we do on the mat with our bodies should never feel like a punishment. There is a difference, but sometimes a fine line between challenging and pushing our bodies and what may feel like a punishment. We never need to go that far. Big inhale. Exhale, we gently straighten that left leg as much as our body will allow today. Waking up the hamstring. IT band. One more inhale. Exhale, we bend that knee, belly button to spine, draws us back through the midline. Let's keep the left knee elevated as we draw the right knee up to meet the left. Both hands clasp around the shins. We draw the knee to the chest, gentle rock from side to side. Heavy in the belly, soft in the ribs. And let's find a moment of stillness at center for 2 breath cycles. Big inhale. Long exhale. One more time, big inhale. Long exhale. We gently release the fingers to bring the hands right behind the legs to the hamstrings. We shine the soles up to the ceiling, kick the heels up towards the sky, and roll our way up to a seated position, sitting up nice and tall when we get there. Let's do that 2 more times. So slow, controlled, gentle roll, kick. Momentum sends you back up to a seated position. Last one. And when we get there, we'll come into a cross-legged position so that we can roll right on through into tabletop. If that doesn't feel good, you can always swing the legs off to the side and meet us in our tabletop position. And when we get there, we're stacking hips over knees, wrists underneath the shoulders. So if you need to look past your side to see if that's what you got going on, that's totally fine. We keep the feet in line with the knees so that if we look in between our arms down the line of our belly, our feet should be covered by our thighs. We shouldn't be able to see our feet in or out. Gaze is straight down. Belly button's drawn back towards the spine. Big inhale. Feeling our foundation before we start to move. So we're going to take some organic movement here to help warm up the spine, further warm up the hips. So we take the hips over to one side, gaze comes over past the opposite. Exhale through center, we take it to the other side, hips bump one way, we look the other. Exhale through center. Now start to take some organic movement. Maybe you dip the hips all the way down to one heel before swinging through to the other. Maybe you take some hip circles, keeping the upper body more firm. Maybe you take figure eights with the body, incorporating the neck a little bit. Whatever feels good for you. I've said it before and I will say it again. One of the joys of the home practice is nobody's watching you. Not that anyone's going to be watching you besides your teacher in a studio format either. However, a little less intimidating when there's nobody in the room with you except me. Take a few more rounds here, listening to your body. Great way to do that is to close the eyes. And then we'll meet back in our tabletop position. Great. So we take an inhale here. We're going to work through this first sequence and I'll walk you through it. We're going to kick the right leg out long, perpendicular to the body and to the long side of the mat. So if you can see me here, my foot, my ankle is right in line with the outside of my hip. So we're here with the leg out parallel. Inhale, right arm swings out to the side and then up to the ceiling. So we're shining the armpit, the pectoral muscle up towards the ceiling. Big inhale. We're pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. We're pressing away from the yoga mat in the left fingertips. Maybe you take your stance, you pull that right arm a little bit further behind you. Exhale, palm floats down to the mat, making contact. We swing that right leg behind us, coming up onto the toes. So we've got the leg out long behind us. Inhale, exhale, we pivot on the back foot, opening up side body up to the ceiling. And then right arm out towards the front of the mat, bicep by the ears. If this feels a little unstable, you can bring that left leg out at an angle off the left side of your mat, allowing you to draw the hips more in line with the knees, the pelvis more in line with the knees. Exhale, hand makes contact with the mat as we pivot back to where we started. Right knee draws back to its table position. We take it to the other side. Left leg shoots out long, perpendicular to our side. Inhale, exhale, we open left arm up to the ceiling. Left armpit, left pectoral muscle is shining up towards the sky. We're firm in that back foot, pressing through the top of the foot, the ankle. Maybe you draw the left fingers down towards the forearm. Exhale, hand replaces as we swing that left leg back behind us off the back edge of the mat. Inhale, exhale, we pivot on the back foot. Left arm again reaches up towards the sky. We shine the belly, pelvis, chest out towards the left side of the mat. Hips are in line with the knees. Exhale, hand replaces on the mat as we pivot back, drawing the left foot, left knee back into our tabletop position. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through. This time, we're going to hold it here for 2 breath cycles, really pressing away from the mat, squeezing the tailbone towards the belly button. Last inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we use the hands to walk back, walking the hands back towards the knees, tucking the tail. We roll our way up. Arms come with us, up overhead, wide V. So we're active in the tops of the feet. We're active in the hamstrings. We're pulling the knees apart almost. So we've got this activity up through the midline like we do when we stand up and mount. Shoulder blades pinch together and then melt down the back body. Lift it in the chest so we don't compress in the low back. We're here for 1 more breath cycle. Then inhale, exhale, we start to send the hips back towards the heels. We activate the core, sending the belly button back towards the spine. Hips come back, chest stays open, arms stay in a nice wide V until those hips almost hit the heels and we start to melt the belly, chest, forehead down to the mat, prayer position. We crawl the hands out slightly in space just so we've got room for this next move here. Inhale. Exhale, we tuck the tail, press into the tops of the feet. So we're rolling right through tabletop, dropping the tops of the thighs to the mat. Shoulders are right above the wrists. High cobra, we open the chest, shoulder blades pinch together. Knees are active, tops of the feet are active. Pelvis, low abdomen is off the mat. Lifting in the chest so we don't compress the low back. Inhale. Exhale, lower halfway, elbows bend, but stay tight to the side body. Exhale, lower all the way. Forehead kisses, adjust the hands if you need to so that they're at a safe position right underneath the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, we press up to tabletop or plank before curling the toes. Hips come up high, downward facing dog. Since this is our first down dog, you can take a moment to pedal it out if you need to. Maybe swaying the hips from one side to the other. On your next inhale, we rise up onto the toes. And then exhale, we drop the knees right underneath the hips, belly drops, chest is open. Exhale, we round through. Inhale draws us back to tabletop position, adjusting the hands if we need to, and we take it from the top. So right leg shoots out long, perpendicular at the side. Inhale, right arm swings up towards the ceiling. Exhale, palm lower as we swing the leg back behind us. Inhale, pivot on the back foot, toe shine over to the right as we open the whole front body over towards the right. Right fingers reach up towards the ceiling. Big inhale. Exhale, palm replaces. We draw the knee in as we send the left leg out long. Inhale, left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, palm replaces, leg swings behind us. We pivot on the back foot, opening. Left toes, side body, over to the left side. Exhale, palm replaces. Knee draws back in. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through, pressing away from the mat. You're here for 2 breath cycles. We use the next inhale to walk the hands back towards the knees. Tail curls, as we roll. Wide V. Shoulder blades pinch together and then melt down the back body. We are active in the glutes, but we're not squeezing them. Pelvis is in line with the hips. So instead of being like this, drawing a curve in the back, we're tucking that tail, bringing the pelvis in line with the hips. Using the hamstrings, the inner thighs, a heaviness in the knees, pressing through the tops of the feet to keep us stable. Big inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine as we start to sink the hips back onto the heels. With control, gently draping belly, chest, forehead, prayer position down to the mat. Exhale, pressing into the tops of the feet. We draw through tabletop, dropping the tops of the thighs. Opening the chest, shoulders are above the wrists, high cobra. Really pressing away from the yoga mat. We're lifting out of the shoulder joints. So we're not dumping weight here. Big inhale. Exhale lowers you halfway. Elbows are tight to the side body. Long line from tail to crown. Exhale, lower all the way. Forehead kisses, adjusting the hands if you need to so that are a safe position right underneath the shoulders. Big inhale. Exhale powers you up to plank or right to tabletop, curling the toes, sending the hips up, downward facing dog. Got the hands spread nice and wide. Elbow creases shining towards each other or towards the front of the mat. Belly buttons drawn towards the spine and then belly drops towards the tops of the thighs. Ears are right in line with the biceps. Inhale, we rise up on the toes. Exhale, we drop the knees, drop the belly, gazes forward. Exhale, we round through. Inhale, last round. Right leg shoots out long. Let's pick up the pace just slightly. We swing, right arm up. Inhale. Exhale, we lower the palms, swinging a leg behind us, pivoting when we get there to open up. Again, right side body. Fingers maybe reach towards the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, hand replaces. We draw the knee back in, left side. Exhale, hand replaces. We swing the leg behind us and immediately pivot to open. Exhale, hand replaces. We draw the knee back in. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, we round through. Tucking the chin, tucking the tail, dropping the crown, pressing away from the mat. One more inhale. Long exhale. Inhale, we walk the hands back towards the knees. Tuck the tail, we roll our way up. Moon pose. Wide V, shoulders pull together and sink down the back body. Exhale, we start to sink the hips back to the heels, bending at the hips, tight abdomen as we drape the belly, chest, forehead down to the mat. Walking the fingers out in space if we need to. Big inhale. Exhale, pressing in through the tops of the feet, curling the tail. Coming up through tabletop and then sending the tops of the thighs to the front of the mat. Shoulders are above the wrists. High cobra. Arms are straight. Inhale. Exhale, we lower halfway. Elbows bend, tight to the side body. Chest is open. Exhale, we lower all the way. Forehead kisses. Inhale, exhale, curl the toes, pressing up to plank or to tabletop, and then sending the hips up to downward facing dog. One more inhale. Exhale, we come up onto the toes, drop the knees, big toes come together, knees as wide as the mat. Let's sink the hips back onto the heels, taking a rest in extended child's pose. Your next exhale, let's walk both hands off the left side of the mat, maybe putting the right hand on top of the left palm. Exhale, we stay nice and low through center as we take it to the other side. Exhale draws us back through center. We take one more breath. Forehead kisses the mat. Exhale, pressing into the tops of the feet. We draw ourselves back up to table. Knees draw back underneath the hips. We use the downward dog as a transition. So walking the hands out slightly in space, we curl the toes under, staying for the inhale. Exhale, we send the hips up high, downward facing dog. Stay for your next inhale, and then exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. However you need to do that is up to you. So if you need to take short little steps, that's great. You want to crisscross walk, that's great. If hopping is a new practice, you can definitely play around with that. Otherwise, we'll meet together in a forward fold. Letting the crown shine all the way down to the mat. Let's take a moment to shake the head yes. And then no, releasing any pressure in the spine. Long exhale. Inhale, gently bend the knees, root to rise, roll our way up to mountain. Arms come up overhead, palms kiss together, and then flip externally to float down at the hips before meeting again in front of the abdomen. Thumbs draw up to the heart space. Pause, closing the eyes for a breath cycle. Inhale, arms draw up overhead, palms stay together. As we look up at the palms, up at the thumbs, maybe taking them back, slight back bend. Inhale. Exhale, we separate the palms slightly, slight bend in the knee as we start to bend at the hips, folding down into a forward fold. Inhale lifts you up halfway. Exhale, fold. Fingertips come down to the mat as we step just the left foot back. We drop that back knee, flip the back foot if that feels good. We breathe into our low lunge. We're light on the fingertips, so we're pressing into the top of the back foot, pressing through the sole of the front foot. Firm in our foundation so that we can be light on our fingers. Exhale, palms come down to the mat. We curl the back toes, lift the back leg, draw the right foot back to meet the left. We're in plank. Inhale, exhale. We drop the knees, keeping the toes curled. Hips stay elevated as we drop the chest right in between the thumbs. Chin comes down to the mat. Inhale, exhale. We drop the pelvis, flip the feet, rising up halfway, chest is open, elbows are bent, cobra. Exhale, lower, toes curl. Inhale, exhale, we press up either to tabletop or plank, and then send the hips up high, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, we're stepping the left foot right to the left thumb. Helping the leg along the way if you need to. We drop that back knee, flip the back foot, taking our low lunge on the other side. Sending the breath down into the front of that right hip, right thigh. To the top and front of the left thigh, where we have a different sensation, a compressing sensation. Big inhale. Exhale, we curl the toes of the back foot, lift the back knee, and then we're going to step the back foot up to meet the right. So don't drag the foot along like this, but instead pick up the foot, meeting it with the left, forward fold. Inhale, long exhale. And then your next inhale, root to rise, rolls your way up to mountain. Palms come with you, up overhead, kissing together. Palms flip externally to float down by the hips before meeting again in front of the abdomen, thumbs up to the heart space. Close the eyes for one breath cycle. Inhale, arms come up overhead, looking up at the thumbs, and then leaning behind us slightly. Small back bend, big inhale. Exhale, we start to float our way down, forward fold. Inhale, lifts you halfway. Exhale, fold. Fingertips come down to the mat. This time we step just the right foot back, dropping the back knee. In a moment, if you need to incorporate some neck movement, maybe some gentle hip sways. Exhale, palms come down to the mat. We lift the back knee, drawing the left foot back to meet the right. We're in plank. Inhale. Exhale. We drop the knees to the mat, toes stay curled, hips stay high as we drop the chest right to the thumbs. Chin comes down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, we drop the pelvis, flipping the feet, pressing our way up to cobra. Chest is open. Exhale, lower. Forehead kisses for the inhale. Exhale, pressing your way up to plank or to tabletop before sending the hips up high for downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, we step the right foot to the right thumb, helping the leg if you need to before we drop the back knee, flipping the back foot. We rise up onto the fingertips, chest is open, gaze is forward. We stay in these postures to make room for them, really settling in, feeling our way, embracing the posture instead of just breezing right through it. Nice long line from crown to tail. Big inhale. Exhale, we curl the back toes, lift the back knee. Fingertips can come down to the mat to help you as we step back foot up to meet the right. Forward fold.
Long exhale. Inhale, roots rise, rolling our way up.
Palms come with us. Kissing up overhead and then flipping externally, dropping down by the hips before meeting again together in front of the abdomen, thumbs up to the heart space. Close the eyes for one breath cycle. Last one. Inhale, arms come up overhead. We reach the palms behind us. Exhale, bending at the hips, coming into our forward fold.
Inhale lifts you halfway.
We're tight in the abdomen. Long line, crown to tail. Exhale, fold. Fingertips come down to the mat. This time we step just the left foot back, dropping the back knee, flipping the back foot. Gaze is forward. By now, our body understands what we're doing. We're starting to settle more and more into this low lunge, into each posture. In a deeper range, a deeper understanding. Each time we spend a little more time here. Exhale, we drop the palms, lift the back foot, lift the back knee, drawing the right foot back to meet the left, coming into plank. We're here for the inhale. Exhale, we drop the knees, hips stay high as we drop the chest right in between the thumbs, chin touches the earth. Inhale. Exhale, we drop the pelvis, flip the feet, rising, chin maybe tucks to the chest before lifting. For our last cobra, nice and strong, powerful. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, forehead kisses. Exhale, plank or tabletop before transitioning into downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot steps up to left thumb, dropping the back knee. Press in through the top of the back foot, feeling lighter and lighter in our upper body, stronger and stronger in our foundation. Back toe curls. Lift the back leg. Exhale, steps up, forward fold.
A long exhale. Inhale, roots rise, rolling all the way up.
Palms kiss together. Up overhead. Maybe you look up at your sweet hands. And then palms flip externally. Hands float down by the hips before meeting again in front of the pelvis. Thumbs come up to the heart space. Let's drop the chin. Close the eyes if they're not closed already. We bring an awareness and a mindfulness to the earth underneath our feet. The activity running up through the midline. The firmness of our back, the softness of our belly, the fullness of our breath. Let's drop the chin all the way to the chest this time. Maybe rounding through the shoulders, the upper back just slightly. Thank you for practicing with me today. Thank yourselves for showing up and practicing. It's the most difficult thing that we can do. In my world on this day, it is Monday, so I hope that you have a great rest of the week. And whatever day you're watching this, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time.